lovely book dragons, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Joanna, and I love talking about books on this channel, specifically fantasy books and also romance books. And today I'm so excited because I'm starting a reading vlog. Something I want to do more of in 2022 is reading vlogs. Now, they don't perform the best on my channel, which I don't care about, because that is something I've decided for 2022. I'm gonna do things because I want to do them, and this channel is a part of that. I want to do the videos I want to do because I want to do them, and if you love them, then yes, we have a win. If you don't love them, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But something I realized was, as I was doing my list of favorites of 2021, is that for some of those favorites, which I will leave that video up here, I had read them as part of a reading vlog. As part of a reading vlog. Some of them I had live shows with, so I could just go check out the live shows if I wanted. But reading vlogs are like a capsule of how I feel about the book as I'm reading them. And I love that. Like, I have told this story many a time, but I originally created this channel and wanted to name it The Bookish Diaries because I wanted this to be kind of like a diary of my thoughts and feelings and reactions to the books that I was reading. And back then, I'd started this channel a long time ago. I deleted all my old videos and then I came back. And back then, reading vlogs weren't really a thing, so I didn't continue with my channel, and now they're a thing, and I really like watching them, and I really like filming them as well, because, I don't know, I just really like it. I love sharing with you what I'm thinking about the books that I'm reading. And so we're doing more vlogs this year. That's basically it. 2 minutes to say that. But today I'm starting a reading vlog for a readathon I'm participating in, and this readathon is hosted by one of my lovely friends here on BookTube, and her name is Sam, and her channel is GoodReads, and I will leave her channel linked down below. And she decided, which is a wonderful idea, to create a readathon called the GoodReads Choice Readathon, and for that you have to read books that were at some point in time nominated for the GoodReads Choice Awards. Doesn't have to be in 2021, doesn't have to be a winner of the GoodReads Choice Awards, just has to be a nominee of one of the years. That's it. That's really it. So she created 5 prompts, and you can double up on prompts if you want to. I will try not to, but I most likely will have to. We have 2 weeks, it goes from January 1st to the 14th. Anyway, by the time you're watching this, the readathon is over, so you cannot participate anymore. So I don't know why I'm giving you all these details. But let me go through my TBR, and we'll see at the end how much we accomplish. So the first prompt that we have is a 5-star prediction. And for this, I picked Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. As soon as Sarah J. Maas publishes a book, it is in the GoodReads Choice Awards nominees, and it probably will end up winning. I don't remember if this was a winner, but it was a nominee. And this is the 6th or whatever book in the Throne of Glass series. This is the book that came out when everyone was waiting for the last book for Kingdom of Ash, and then she decided, nah, I'm gonna publish Tower of Dawn, and we're like, why? We want to read Kingdom of Ash. So that's why I haven't picked this one up, because I wasn't looking forward to this when it came out. And then I didn't read it. Then I reread the whole series now, and now this is the next book that I'm on. And so I want to read this. I have heard since then a lot of people who were also like really not at all excited about this book because of the perspective that would fall in this book. A lot of people who were really not looking forward to that actually ended up loving it. So I am hopeful, and I do love Sarah J. Maas, so I can only imagine that I will really love this book. So I'm picking this one for 5-star prediction. The next prompt is like cover pick or something like that. Basically a book that you want to read because it has a beautiful cover. And this is true for this book, but I want to read it also because one of my favorite authors, a 2021 release that I haven't gotten to yet and wanted to, and that is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I do love this cover. I love the UK cover as well. This is just stunning. I love it, and I love her books. I've loved a lot of her books. I've given all of her books either 4 or 5 stars, and the ones that she's written in this series, kind of like 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Daisy Jones and the Six, kind of all are in the same universe because we have some crossover characters. I've given all of those, I've given those 2 5 stars, so I'm excited for this one. All I know is that this one we're at a party, and then the house is on fire at the end of the party, and we kind of start a few hours before the party, like 7 hours until the party, something like that, and then we see how we get to that accident. That is the story of this book. I'm very excited for this one. Like I said, I've loved all of her books, and so I know I will at least like it. Then we have a book that can work for the first 3 prompts, so the 5-star prediction, the cover, and the representation, because this book has all of those things, and that is Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune. I loved The House in the Cerulean Sea so much when I read it, and this book just sounds right up my alley. It sounds melancholy. It sounds beautiful. It is a beautiful, beautiful signed edition from Waterstones. Thanks so much, Sophia, for scoring this for me. This book, we follow a man who has died, and then he's in this tea shop with this man, and I think he sees his life or something like that, and kind of like the choices he's made, I think. I'm not sure. But basically, it's that in a nutshell. Very excited for this. This one is also quite short actually, so I think I should be able to get to this. And if I read this, I have 3 prompts covered, so that is a good thing. Yeah, I'm very excited for this one to see how I feel, because I loved House on the Cerulean Sea. I cannot imagine not liking this one. And Sophia has told me that she thinks I will really love this one. So, reading this one. And the next 2 I own on my Kindle, so I'll be inserting pictures up here. We have a book that is outside of my comfort zone. For that, I'm picking up The Push by, I always forget her name, but it's right here. This is a psychological thriller about motherhood. Does not sound at all like something I read, but the topic intrigued me enough. I've heard so many reviews of this book, and everything I've heard sounds like something that I will absolutely love. I honestly don't know what I'm gonna feel about this. I don't know what I'm gonna think, but I want to read it. I'm intrigued, I'm curious. Here we go. And then the final is poll pick. So what you had to do was put a poll on your social media, somewhere, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. I use Instagram because I don't use Twitter. And I put 4 romance books that I was interested in that were nominees. And the one that won with 100% of the votes was The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. So I'm going to be reading The Love Hypothesis for by Ali Hazelwood for this challenge, which is the book that I've started. So let's jump into, this was my TBR. So the TBR section is over. Let's jump into the reading part. So I started The Love Hypothesis, like I said. I'm only on chapter 2. So I really read the prologue and chapter 1, and I had this huge smile on my face the whole time I was reading. It's so fun. It's so like, I can already see the chaos happening, and it's just, this is gonna be a good one. I already know. I'm very much excited to read this book. And if I don't read many other books, this one can count also for the cover, because I think it has a beautiful cover, and I think it's gonna be a 5-star prediction. So I could have used it outside of my comfort zone because I didn't used to read romance, but now I do read romance, so it doesn't count for that anymore. But it also counts for representation because our main character is demisexual, if I'm not mistaken. So this book could honestly cover 4 prompts. It's a win. It's a win in my book. So I'm very much excited to continue on with this one. I don't have many thoughts except that it was super cute, the part that I have read. I will update you as I read. This is a 2-week reading vlog, and I'm already at 8 minutes of footage. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Please grab a snack, relax, sit back. Just you know, grab a drink, grab a snack, and enjoy. And see me read these Goodreads nominees and see what I think about them. We'll see you in the next clip. Hey guys, it is literally the next day, January 3rd in the morning. It's at roughly 10:30 a.m. and I am 70% of the way through, a little bit over 70% of the way through The Love Hypothesis. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. This is gonna be my first book of the year, and I think it's gonna be a 5-star read. I am loving it so much, and this is probably one of my new favorite romances. Honestly, I love it a lot. So the basic pitch of the story, I don't remember if I told you this yesterday, but the basic premise is that our main character Olive is a woman in STEM, and she is a student to get her PhD. So she's a PhD student, or whatever you call that. Yes. And she was kind of going on dates with this guy called Jeremy. But it was just, you know, a few dates, casually dating. And actually, her best friend kind of started having feelings for this Jeremy guy. And Olive said, go ahead, you can date him. Honestly, it was nothing serious. You can go. You have my blessing. And she said, no, because girl code, you don't date your friends' eggs, so you don't do that. And Olive's like, no, please. I know you guys like each other. And I could tell that you really are into him. So please, nothing was serious between us. Go on dates with him. And the friend says she doesn't want to. And so Olive's like, okay, I'm gonna start fake dating someone. I'm gonna kiss someone and fake date them, and so that my friends will get off my back and they will finally get together. And so she kind of kisses the first person she sees, which is Dr. Adam Carlson, and he's known to be like this 30-something-year-old doctor who's really, really strict, really, really harsh, really, really grumpy and moody, and like students are scared of him and hate him because he's so harsh and complicated. And she kisses him, and the story goes from there. They start fake dating because she wants to convince her friend that she can go date this Jeremy dude. And Dr. Carlson, he is seen as a flight risk for the university because he's so well known and renowned and a prestigious teacher. He often gets poached from other schools and other places that want to hire him. And the University of Stanford is kind of scared that he will go, and therefore they kind of want to cut the funds for his projects. And he's like, okay, so if I fake date you, they'll see me as having a steady girlfriend who is here, so therefore they won't be suspicious that I would want to leave, and they will continue giving me the grant money that I'm gonna for my project. So that's kind of the pitch of the story. And so it's fake dating, and it's just so cute. I love this so much. I just couldn't stop reading. Yesterday I started reading it, and then I took a little break because I wanted to watch some YouTube videos of you guys that I was really behind on. And so I watched some YouTube, and then we had dinner, and then I watched a bit more YouTube, and then I started really reading it, and then I got into it and I couldn't put it down. I already woke up this morning and read 2 chapters, and now I have my Dutch lesson, but I'm definitely finishing this book today. So first book of the year is like amazing. Thank you so much for recommending this to me. Thank you, Abby and Sophia, specifically for yelling at me about this book for like 2 months now or something like that. Yeah, I was one who put this on Sophia's radar, and then she read it and loved it, and Abby read it and loved it. They kind of read it at the same time, and they were like, "You're the one who put it on our radar. Why aren't you reading it?" I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, definitely a good way to start the year. Once I finish it, I will come update you, and then I will pick my next read, which I think is going to be Tower of Dawn. I'm going to start it on audio because my notebook therapy journal should be coming in today, which means that I can start planning my reading journal, which is amazing because I've been wanting to do that for a while, and I need an audiobook for that. So I'm thinking Tower of Dawn, I think. We'll see. I'll let you know. Hello friends, it is the next day. It is Tuesday, the 4th of January, and I'm here to update you quickly because I'm technically at work right now, but I thought I wanted to update this because I wanted to update you. So I finished The Love Hypothesis yesterday, and I gave it 5 whopping stars. There was a little bit of something that I didn't like, which was a little bit of miscommunication, but like it was our main character really not wanting to communicate with the love interest. I'm gonna start using romance terms. It was our heroine who didn't want to communicate with our hero because she was scared and she didn't want to say what she really thought because of stuff. So it made sense, but I was just like, just talk. Clearly he likes you, so just say what you want to say, woman. But yeah, I did give it 5 stars. I thought it was the cutest. I think it is, with the Unhoneymooners, my favorite romance that I've read to date. Yes, better than I like The Hating Game. I prefer this one. I love The Hating Game as well. So those 3 are like my top romances that I've read. Oh, and Eve Brown. Those, like, to compare you, to tell you how much I liked this one, I would put it at the same level as those, and I loved all of those. So The Love Hypothesis was a complete success. I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. It was just so cute, and it was not just cute, but I don't know, like the main character, seeing her also with her studies, with everything, with the whole thing is also about women in STEM and how little women in STEM there are. And then you have one of her best friends who's like a woman of color in STEM, which is even worse, like it's even rarer. And it's just like so, I don't know, I just like the whole thing. I thought it was so compelling. I couldn't put it down. Like I said, I read 70% in one day. I stayed up until 1 a.m. And then yesterday when I woke up, I read 2 chapters. I had my Dutch lesson. We ate lunch. I showered. I exercised. I showered, and then I finished the book because I needed to know what was gonna happen, and I needed to continue reading from these characters. I just loved it so much. It was just such a good book. So the first book of the year, the first book of this readathon, was an absolute success. 5 stars. Loved it. So excited that I finally read this super hyped 2021 book, and I'm glad that it worked for me. I wasn't idle after that. I finally got my bullet journal for the year in, and let me show you because this is the cutest thing. This is a notebook therapy. It's just so cute with this little font, and I like the size of it. It's a little bit smaller than the other bullet journals I've had, so I just think it's so cute. So while I was setting this up yesterday, I started to listen to the audiobook of Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas, and I'm happy to report that I am chapter 14, so I'm somewhere here, which is roughly on page 174. So I did read another 174 pages of this yesterday. Like, I read 30% of The Love Hypothesis and 170, and I think this is like 27% of this. So I read a lot. I read a lot yesterday. I am liking this a lot. I am just happy to be back. I am not absolutely loving that we're not with our main cast of characters, because if you didn't know, this follows a perspective that is set in another part of the world, and this runs parallel to Empire of Storms. So as much as I'm liking seeing other sides of the world and other political structures in this world, it's our main cast, and after the end of Empire of Storms, I really want to know what's going on. So there's that, but I am very happy with this, that I'm reading this finally. So I'm roughly, like I said, 27-ish% in. I am gonna read a little bit more today. Hopefully get to the halfway point. That would be lovely. I would like to finish this week and still maybe start one of my other books, because then if I can read 2.5, then I can read the other 2.5 next week, and the others are all shorter. This is my biggest book for this readathon, because this book is 660 pages if I saw correctly. Yeah, 660 pages. So if I can finish this one this week, I should be good for my other books. But that is my update for now. So Love Hypothesis, 5 stars, loved it, super cute. Definitely probably gonna be my favorite romance of the year. I do plan on reading a lot more romance this year, but that one was gonna be hard to top, the Love Hypothesis. So every time I'm gonna read a romance, I'm gonna be like, is it as good as The Unhoneymooners and the Love Hypothesis? That's how where we're at. And reading this, which I'm super excited, reading from my favorite authors. This book ticks like so many of my goals for the year. It's like continuing series, reading from my favorite authors, and just mood reading, because I was really in the mood for this, and I started, and I'm enjoying it. I'm reading from my own TBR, so win, 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 win. Hey guys, it is Wednesday, the 5th of January, and I wanted to update because I have made quite the progress in Tower of Dawn. I am this far in, which is I think now over the halfway point, or roughly. I actually think I'm right at the halfway point. I'm on page 337, and I think this is 660 pages. So I just made it to the halfway point of this, and I wanted to update. I just read up to part 2, and I am really liking this one. I was so nervous to pick up this book, which is why I still, after so many years, have not finished this series, which was the series that got me into fantasy, the series that really, along with stuff like The Hunger Games and Divergent, this is what started my love of reading. And I was really sad that I hadn't finished it out yet, and now I'm working on it, and I'm really excited. So, I don't really want to spoil anything. I'm gonna give you the premise of this book. If you don't want to even know what the premise of this book is, then jump forward until the book is no longer in the shot. So in this one, we follow Kale as he goes with Nezrin to the Torre Chesme so that he can find a healer to heal him from the wounds that he has, and because he can no longer use his legs. And so I was always really, how to say that, like, reticent to read something like this, because I really care about our main characters. Kale, when I first read the series way back in the day, was my favorite. Him and Selena were my OTP. I loved Kale, he was my favorite. But then on this reread, I kind of understand a lot more. Like, I think that this is also one of those things where when I first read the series, I was such a Kale fan that I was so angry that he didn't end up being Selena's main man, or Aylin's main man, and then I actually was so angry at everything, I just didn't continue on with the series. But since I've reread them, I really see the whole Rowan and Aylin more than I see the Kale in Selena / Aylin thing going. And actually, I'm really liking this one. I wasn't a huge fan, or I wasn't super invested in Kale and Nazreen, but in this book, we meet Irene, the healer, and we meet Kale and Irene, and it's just like, yes, I am on board with this ship. I really like them. I think they're super cute, and so I am just really liking this book right now a lot. Welcome back, non-spoiler people. Basically, I was though saying at the very end that I really like this book. I am really having a good time. I was talking a bit about the ships in this book and in the series in general, so that's kind of what I was just talking about and how I feel about the relationships that are developing in this book. I think it's really interesting to see another part of the world, and to see, like, what I'm loving is to see the connections from Assassin's Blade, which is the book with all the short stories in the Throne of Glass world. So I definitely recommend reading those before you read like this or even some other books in the series, because the impact of the scenes and the people that you're meeting is so different if you have read the short stories. So I am gonna leave you. I am really enjoying this book, and that's it. Hey guys, it is Friday, what is today? 7? I don't even know what day it is. The 7th, I think, something like that, of January. And I wanted to say that yesterday I finished Tower of Dawn by Miss Sarah J. Maas. And I'm so happy that I read this. I don't know why I've been putting it off for so long. I had a good time. It isn't my favorite in the series. I think I like this one as much as I liked Air of Fire on a reread. The first time I read Air of Fire, it was amazing. It was my favorite book of all time back then, because it was so different from what Sarah J. Maas had been doing in this series that I just loved it. Now on a reread, I like Air of Fire a lot. I still think it's like the book where everything changes and where everything gets interesting and elevated, but Air of Fire has nothing on Empire Storms or on Queen of Shadows, and I think this one is kind of like, it would rank right maybe below Air of Fire. So my ranking would kind of go Throne of Glass. No. Crown of Midnight is the worst, and then Throne of Glass. I'm not counting Assassin's Blade because it's a short story collection, and I think that they add a lot to the world without being set in the main timeline of the plot. So I'm not ranking that one, but then it will probably be this and then Air of Fire, but almost at the same level. So I really liked it. I gave it 4.5 stars. I think what it did is that it got me super, super excited to finally finish off the series. There were some big world revelations in here, which I loved seeing. And yeah, which leads me to my next read, because this was not on my TBR, of course, as you know, but I think I'm going to start Kingdom of Ash. Guys, it's been such a long time coming. This book came out in 2018. It is now 2022. It's been out for 4 years almost. And I haven't read it. And this is the series that got me started. This is the series that started it all. And I haven't finished it. So I think I'm going to be picking up Kingdom of Ash. This one definitely counts as a GoodReads Choice nominee because it was a nominee. I'm pretty sure it won the nomination that year. So it's time. It's time to finish off the series. It's time. It is just time. This book is huge. It's 980 pages. So I think some of my other books are going to have to fall off the wayside, unfortunately, because I'm just going to follow my mood, which is something that is a goal for me this year. So I can't believe I'm going to read Kingdom of Ash. Like, this fulfills all of my reading goals of the year. Like, picking this up, it's a mood read, absolutely. I'm in the mood for it now. I'm going to pick it up. It is finishing off a series, especially finishing off a series that I started almost 10 years ago. It is picking up a big book and not being scared of picking up a big book instead of 3 smaller books. This book is the size of the other 3 that I had on my TBR combined. So I'm no longer doing that, just like reading smaller books just because I am too scared of picking up big books of the time it will take. Of course, I would still be super excited to get to the other books, and I'm still going to try and read one or the other of those this month, or even during this readathon if I finish this fast, because I did read this in 4 days during the work week, and it's 300 pages short, so I was reading roughly 200 pages. I was reading roughly 200 pages of this per day during a work week, so maybe I can this weekend knock quite a bit of this out. Who knows? But I'm going to do this. This is finishing off series. It's reading things off my TBR. It's just like, stop postponing things that I know will make me happy. Stop postponing books by my favorite authors. So that's it. I'm going to read this at night. I'm going to start the beauty that is Kingdom of Ash. Just like so excited. Hey guys, so it is the next day, so Saturday the 8th, I think. And I just wanted to report that I did in fact follow my mood, and I picked up Kingdom of Ash last night. I read only a little bit because I had to clean up a lot. I had to take out my Christmas tree, which was so sad because the trash people pick it up tomorrow. And yeah, taking out a real tree that was already dry was a mess, so we had to clean up after, and we had a bit of cleanup to do anyway from the week that was. And so I started very late, but I did read a bit, and then I read a little bit this morning after my walk with Melvin. So I am only on page 129, so like I have very little progress has been made, but progress has been made, and I'm already so happy to be back with these characters. I don't know how we're gonna get out of the situation. I just don't know. It's not very reassuring. I'm not excited to see this happen. I feel like I'm gonna be in pain at some point. My heart, I fear for my heart. But this is going to be my main priority. I've decided I'm not going to start anything on the side or anything. I'm just going to binge read this, and when I'm done, I'll pick something else up. That's the mood I've been in. I usually am always kind of balancing 2, 3, sometimes 4, 5 books at once, and I don't want to do that right now. It's not the mood I'm in. So I'm only going to be reading Kingdom of Ash right now, and then when I'm done, I'll pick up one of the other books that was on this TBR. Which one? I don't know. We'll see. But this is it. I'm liking it a lot. I won't be giving you updates very often, I feel like, because this is a long book. So I'm going to try and read to like the 30 or so % mark and then update you. I'll update you tomorrow probably and see what I think. But right now, really liking this. Super happy to be back, but also very nervous. Hey guys, it's Monday, as you can clearly tell. Am I recycling my shirt from Saturday? Absolutely. Do I care? Not one bit. So, it's Monday morning. I didn't update you at all yesterday because all I did was we woke up we tried to go on a walk, but then it was rainy, and then did a bit of here and there things in the house, some cleanup and stuff. My mother came for afternoon coffee, and then all I did was read. So I didn't read a lot on, I think I updated you Saturday night saying that I was like 100 pages in or something like that. I read a tiny bit on Saturday. I made it to page 200. Honestly, Friday, Saturday were not very big reading days for me. Friday night was a very big cleaning day because we had to get the tree out of the house and then clean up after the tree and everything. And then Saturday was a big like filming, editing day. And then I hung out with Abby and with Sophia. And so I didn't get a lot of reading done. But yesterday I read almost 400 pages, and I'm happy to report that I am almost 600 pages into this. Like, I'm 550 pages into this book right now, and I am just having the best time ever. This was the best decision to pick this up. I'm so glad I followed my mood, because this is why I decided that this year I wanted to make mood reading an absolute priority for me, because I know that if like old Joana that wasn't prioritizing mood reading would not have picked this up right now, especially not during a readathon, because have you seen the size of this thing? And yes, I totally cracked my spine. Like, if you're against spine crackings, I'm like totally doing this stuff to this book because it's so big. But yeah, old Joana would not have picked this up right now, and I would have put it off again, and months would have gone by until I picked this up, because it's big. It's gonna take way more time than like this. I think I said that on Saturday. This is as big as if I'd picked the 3 other books. So the 3 other books that I had on the TBR for this week, for this readathon, for these 2 weeks, were The Push, Under the Whispering Door, and Malibu Rising. And each of those were roughly 300 pages. So if you combine them, they would probably equate to the 980 pages that is this behemoth. So yes, in the time that I'm reading this, I could have read 3 other things. But I was in the mood for this, and I'm so glad I followed the mood, because I am literally having the worst time because it's the best time, because I love this book. I'm absolutely having usually when I read for like an hour or a certain amount of pages or a certain amount of chapters, and I'm like, let me put the book down for now, and then I'll come back. I'm gonna go do something different, go a bit on my phone. With this, I'm not replying to any messages, I'm not doing anything. I'm just like flipping the pages. That's all I'm doing. And hours go by, and I'm like, I'm still reading, I'm still continuing on, and it's just the best. It's the worst because it's already hurt me so many times. There's so many great character moments in this that make me emotional. There's things where I'm like, how are we gonna get out of this? How? Like, there's still so much that needs to happen, and like, it seems very doom and gloom right now. It feels like our main characters are not gonna get out of this one unscathed, but what do I know? I know how Sarah J. Maas finished Echo War. I wasn't a very big fan of how she finished that original trilogy, but I have high hopes for Kingdom of Ash, because right now I'm just having the best time. I'm having the best time. I love these characters. I love this world. I immediately am considering a reread of this, which no, because it's also my goal to not reread immediately, or to not reread so much this year, but I am so glad I picked this up. I'm going to be reshuffling. I'm hoping that I can finish this very soon here, and that I could still read The Push, because The Push is the only book that is fulfilling that outside of my comfort zone prompt. So that would mean that I would use this probably for the cover prompt instead of Malibu Rising. I could even use this for 5-star prediction, but I put Tower of Dawn on there. So I would have Tower of Dawn in my 5-star prediction, this as my cover pick, Love Hypothesis as the poll pick and as the representation pick, and then I would have The Push as my outside my comfort zone pick, because The Push is only 300 pages. So I'm thinking I can finish this and read The Push this week. I should be able to do that, and then we'll see. We'll go from there. Then I think I'm gonna wrap up this vlog, and then because it's gonna be a very long one, because this clip alone is 5 minutes. So yeah, if I of course finish everything super early on, which I doubt, I can pick up something else. I still have Malibu Rising and Under the Whispering Door on my TBR. I'm thinking of leaving Malibu Rising for the summer, honestly, and maybe picking up Under the Whispering Door if I still have time, or I'm just gonna go into some wintry reads I still want to read, or some of my commitment reads that I need to read in January. But basically, if I finish this and then can squeeze in The Push, I'll consider this readathon a huge success. Huge success. Hello, it's Tuesday morning, the 11th of January, and I am so tired. I'm so tired because I stayed up very late to continue
in Kingdom of Ash, I have 200 pages left to go. And I'm going to finish this today. Come what may, I have to go to bed early today because I'm going into the office tomorrow. AKA I have to wake up at 6. It is now 8 and I'm this tired. Tomorrow I have to wake up at like 6. Maybe I can push it to 6:30. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'm going to be super tired. But there's no way that I don't finish this today. I am at a part, I stopped in the middle of a chapter on page 774. In the middle of a chapter because something big was about to happen. And I was like, you know what? Right now, everyone is relatively speaking fine. So I'm just gonna pause it here for the night. Like, well, one of our characters is not fine at all, emotionally speaking. Well, they're all a mess, but specifically one. But at this point in time, we're following a certain set of characters on a certain mission. If you know, you know. And I'm like, you know what? Like, why would I not sleep? Why would I have nightmares when I could just, like, right now, everyone is still okay. Let me go to bed now. And then today I'll finish this. This book is everything I wanted and didn't know I needed. I don't know why I put it off for so long. Hence why my New Year's goals, because I don't want this to happen anymore. I don't want to push off books by my faves or books that I'm extremely looking forward to. I want to read them now because why not? I have a feeling that I will reread this series in the future, of course, because I love this series, but specifically this one I will just reread and throw in the audiobook because of how much I'm loving this and how it's like, guys, this is a 980 page book, basically 1,000-page book that I read in like 4 days. Like, I started it Friday, we'll finish it Tuesday, but Friday night I started at 10 p.m. so I read like a tiny bit. Saturday I barely read, I didn't have a lot of time to read, so most of the reading of this book happened over 3 days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's insane. It's insane. But that being said, I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna finish this. And then tomorrow, I'm gonna go into the office. And I think I'm gonna start the push on my Kindle during my break. And then I have to pick up my mom from the hospital from a checkup. And so I don't know if I'll have to wait for it. If I have to wait for it, I'll probably start the push on my Kindle. But to be very honest, I don't know if I'll read tomorrow night when I come home because I'm going to be so tired. But that's okay because I still have 4 days to finish the push. I should be doable. But something I will start, and that has nothing to do with this readathon, but I will start on audio, and I'm just going to tell you, even though this does not qualify for this readathon, is A Great Hunt by Robert Jordan. This is the second book in the Wheel of Time. I'm going to be buddy reading this one, like soft buddy reading this one with Sarah, but also with Zara and Jessi. Everyone is kind of reading this book, and Andy's Discord. I'll leave everyone I mentioned in the description of this video, but yeah, all of those people are kind of reading this at the moment, and therefore I'm just gonna pick it up so that I can discuss this with all those people. I'm super excited. It was on my TBR anyway, and I needed a new audiobook after I finished this because the push I'm gonna do on Kindle, so perfect timing. I'm gonna start this tomorrow in the car on my way to work. But yeah, I'm gonna go work now. I will update you. I don't know if I'll update you tonight because I don't know what time I'm going to finish Kingdom of Ash. Worst case, I'll update you tomorrow night when I get home from work on Thursday morning. I don't know, but I'll update you when I'm done with this. Hey guys, it is the same day as my last update. It's 10 p.m. and I did it. I finished. I cried. I laughed. I gasped. I yelled. All of the emotions. This is a 5-star, of course. It feels like such a long time coming. I checked, I started the series 8 years ago. 8 years and counting, I did it. I finished the Throne of Glass series. This book was everything that I hoped this finale would be. This book was, I don't know, I loved it. I know she gets a lot of hate for a lot of things that she does, but I don't care. I love these books. This series is what made me into the reader I am today. It made me into the fantasy lover that I am today, and reading this book reminded me exactly why that was, or why this series particularly got me into fantasy, why this series made me into a voracious reader, if you will, because I couldn't put this down. I read and read and read and read. I read 980 pages in basically 3 days. Basically, if we count like how little reading I actually did on Friday and Saturday. I couldn't put this down. I kept on flipping the pages, and that is why I love this series, because this series reminds me why I love reading and why I specifically love reading
fantasy that is character driven. Of course, this series is also plot driven, but the characters in here are phenomenal. The found family tropes, all of those tropes that I love today originated here, and it was just beautiful to be reminded of that. And I'm so happy that I started off 2022 by finishing off this series, by reading this book, and by just accomplishing this thing that I've been wanting to do for a while. And yeah, out of 5 stars. I loved it. That's it for tonight. Good morning, everybody. It is a Thursday morning, and I realized that I don't have this whole week to read because I have to end everything by tomorrow, because the readathon ends tomorrow. I thought I had the weekend included for some odd reason, but it is not a big deal, I think, because I started my last book for this readathon, The Push by Ashley O'Doran, and I am 20% of it into it already in one day, so I think I should be able to do it. And I didn't have a ton of time to read yesterday because I had to go into work physically, so I actually started The Great Hunt. Oh, you can see these. I actually started The Great Hunt on my way there. I read 112 pages just on my commute as an audiobook because I drive. So The Push I only started in the evening, and I read 20%, and I'm loving it. This is a story about motherhood and the expectations that are put upon yourself, and how everyone says, oh, you'll be such a great mother, but when it's your child it's different, and all that kind of stuff. And we follow a main character. I don't know enough yet, honestly, to know what the whole scope of the story is. The book is told in second person in the sense where our main character is telling you a story. She's like, I watch you through the window with our daughter, and so you can tell that she is estranged from her ex-husband and from her kids, or her kid at least, and she kind of retells the story of how they got together and how everything was beautiful and how they loved each other so much, and then how they got married and then everything was perfect, and then he was like, let's start trying having a kid, and she was like, okay, I'm sure it's okay, I'm sure it'll be fine. But then when the kid was born, she didn't want the kid, and so you kind of have her telling that story to her husband, because it's kind of like she wrote this down for him and drops it for him. But you also get flashbacks to different areas, because the book starts with the premise that, like, as a cell, you as a cell begin in the body of your grandmother, and so you kind of see our main characters' mother and grandmother's stories, and how they were as mothers, and how they also weren't great mothers, and how it affects also our main character today. You kind of have this dual timeline type of thing, and you have her telling her husband, here's my side of the story. There you go. And like I said, I'm only 20% into it, and I am really loving it. I'm loving the rawness of it. As someone who wasn't really interested in being a mother, I can relate to some of these things, like, not because I've lived it, but because those are the thoughts that I already have before having the kid. And I think that it's, in our day and age, it's like very normal to have that, to think those things. But even my mother's generation, if you didn't want kids, it was weird, and like a lot of women were having kids and maybe feeling exactly what this main character is saying, but just not voicing it. And I think it's important to see stories like that as well. So I'm really loving it. I'm having a really good time. I'm hoping to finish it tomorrow for the end of the readathon, and then I will have read 4 books. And it is amazing because 2 of them were behemoths. So I call this a success, and plus the whatever pages I'm gonna get into this. I don't think I will continue until the end of the readathon because I do want to finish that book, but 112 pages of this as well. I mean, it's a success. Hey guys, so it is Friday, the last day of the readathon, and I do need to finish The Push today, but that shouldn't be a problem because I'm roughly halfway through it right now, and I read a lot of it yesterday. I didn't have a lot of reading time per se, but today I will make it my priority. I'm still loving it. I'm thinking this is, like, if it continues on the way it's going, if the ending isn't disappointing, I'm gonna give it 5 stars. I'm having a wonderful time with it, honestly. It's such a good book. Like, the topics it tackles is just fantastic. And there's a little bit of like a mystery element, not really a mystery element, but you know something because she's telling the story from the future. So you know something that happened in the past, and you're just like, what happened there? I wanna know. So I'm loving it, absolutely. This has been such a good reading vlog. And it's like the first 4 books of the years have all been above 4 stars. Like, what the heck? It's like, it's amazing. And I'm also reading The Great Hunt, which I'm loving. So come on, what a way to start the year. But I'm gonna go to work right now. I will let you know when I finish the book and then wrap up this vlog. And that's it. That was then the GC readathon. Sam, you need to host this again. This was a lot of fun. I really liked that we had 5 prompts, could double up, wasn't too hard, and you had a lot of options to pick from since there's been so many nominees over the time. So, see you later. Hey guys, it is Sunday, so this readathon is over, but I did want to come and wrap up the push and then wrap up the whole readathon. I know this vlog is already very long because I started editing it, and I know. So I hope you grabbed a snack and a blanket and whatever you needed to make it through this video, but I hope you had a good time. The push. I finished it, of course, and it was amazing. I gave it 5 stars. This book, it made me go through so many emotions. It made my fears that come along with the idea of motherhood, it made them feel seen, and it made them feel validated, and it made them feel, how do you say that? Yeah, validated, I guess is the best word, which is kind of ironic because that is the whole point in this book, is that our main character, Blythe, she starts seeing things in her daughter that she is scared about, and she tries to talk to people about it, and everyone just dismisses her and doesn't validate her feelings and just tells her, you just don't love her enough, or you just don't try hard enough, you just hate her for some reason. And the way, like, it's funny how the author manages to put this character that is not understood, that is not validated, who feels this way in this book, and yet you as a reader, or at least me as a reader, I felt that my fears and my apprehensions about motherhood and kids and being a mom and everything that comes with it were completely seen, and were like, it's okay to feel like this, it's okay to have these fears. And so it was just, I don't know how she did that, it was amazing. And the ending was just, after I finished the book, I was just like Googling the ending. So I was like, oh my god. If you like clean endings where everything is really spelled out for you, this is not for you. But I thought that this ending was just so amazing. It's like hits you in the face. I love this book. I loved it. It was raw. It was really raw. And it was really rough at some points to read because there's so much going on in this character's mind, and then I'm trying to tell you something here, and I don't know how to do it, so I'm just gonna try and go for it. So something that I thought was so incredibly fascinating is how, so this mother, she never wanted the first daughter that they had. She was like, nope, I don't want to be a mom, can you please go away? And she never had that bond with Violet, her daughter. And then she starts seeing the things in her daughter that are really scary, and everyone dismisses her, and yet they see some hints of it in the kid, but they don't really take it seriously, and they really kind of dismiss it. And you see the main character be like, okay, but if I'm the only one who sees these kinds of things, then maybe I didn't actually see them. Maybe it's just me going crazy. And you have that feeling of like, she doesn't even trust herself anymore. And yes, sometimes people give her just a little nugget of like, we know that you're onto something, we know that you're right. And then she's like, you said that, please tell me, why did you say that? People, then they just brush it off, you know? And then she starts doubting herself again, and she's like, why won't be, like, it's just so, I'm incoherent. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. It's gonna probably make it onto my favorite non-SFF books of the year. Almost certain. As a little recap, I read 4 books for this readathon, and I covered every single prompt. And no, I didn't follow my TBR strictly. I didn't read Under the Whispering Door. I didn't read Malibu Rising. But it was an amazing way to start the year. Every single book that I started the year off with was a 4-star, actually 4.5 star or 5-star, which is incredible. I absolutely loved finishing off Throne of Glass, the series. It was just such an emotional moment for me. Watching myself, like, in editing, I was like, ugh, everything came back, all those feelings. And I know it was only Tuesday, but still a little bit of time has passed now, and so it's just like, it's amazing. Like, I'm so happy that I did. I'm so happy also that I picked up The Love Hypothesis, which was such a hyped romance, and that I ended up loving and like just thinking it was the cutest thing ever. And then The Push, which was just a book that was so hard-hitting and so incredible. So all in all, this was a very successful reading vlog for me because I read 4 books. I read so many pages. I can put the total somewhere here on the screen, and it was incredible. I give everything 4.5 or 5 stars. So successful readathon, successful vlog. And that is going to be it for me today. This is a very long vlog. Thank you so much. If you made it to the end of this vlog, please leave a sword emoji for the Throne of Glass series, because that was a long time coming, and it was just such an accomplishment that I was able to do in the beginning of this year. So Leave a sword emoji if you made it to the end of this video, and let me know if you've read any of these books and or if you plan on picking any of them up. I highly recommend The Love Hypothesis as romance, and I highly recommend The Push just in general because I loved it. But it won't be for everybody though. It won't be for everybody. So that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, happy reading.